Yo, yo.
Hello, I'm Madison.
And I'm Kyler. And this is the MADlife podcast.
Was that a cooler intro? Kyler was saying we need to spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, you got to spice it up, for your audience. You got people watching, you got people listening. They don't want to hear this. Hey guys, welcome back to the MADlife podcast with Madison.
I liked my intro. Well, let's let them decide. Go back, listen to my other podcast. Let me know if you guys like my intro.
All right.
But we do want to make it MADlife not just about me. I know I'm Madison, MADlife, but you know what? MADlife is more than just Madison. It's about the MADlife is everything involved in my life, including Kyler. So it's actually, Kyler's going to be...
It's really just about our crazy life.
He's a host. Yeah, he's a host as well. And some podcasts, if I'm super busy with the kids, I did think it would be a great idea if Kyler just came on here with a guest, and he can interview them. It doesn't always have to be me. I really can,
but that actually sounded like a cop-out. Just a little bit.
No. I love my podcast.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to be here on every episode. But anyway, if you guys are listening in, don't forget to subscribe because it means so much to me and it lets me know that you're here. And also you'll be the first one to know when the podcast drops.
Not only subscribing, but make sure you hit the notification bell, but also comment and give this video on YouTube a thumbs up. Okay. Because people, that's how you get in the algorithm.
Yeah. It's hard nowadays.
Engagement.
It's really hard to get into the algorithm nowadays. YouTube has just changed so much over the years. And so for us, we're really putting ourselves out there. We love doing this podcast and you guys are allowing us to do this. And we just are so grateful for you. I know so many of you have been loving the podcast and I see these comments and I read all the comments and I'm so grateful for every single one of you. I'm doing my best to respond to all of them. You can also follow us on all of our other platforms. I post a lot of the little behind the scenes of me as a mom, like in the moments on my Instagram stories. So if you're loving my journey and you're loving to get to know me, if you want to see more, go check out my Instagram.
Yep.
I was surprised yesterday. I posted a little video of why we were moving. It was so popular. Everyone was saying, I posted on TikTok and when I reposted to Instagram, so many DMs were saying that they don't have TikTok. Oh, I don't have TikTok. How else do I watch this moving video? And so I went and reposted it today on my YouTube shorts so people could see it that way. But I didn't realize how many people didn't have TikToks. It seemed like everybody did.
Not everybody has every platform. Some people are not even, I don't know. They just don't subscribe to everything, like we do.
And I keep wondering if TikTok is getting banned. Like, what is it with us? Like, why do we keep hearing it's getting banned and then it doesn't?
I don't know. I really hope it doesn't because I actually enjoy the platform. I think it's fun. I literally die laughing every day from people's content. I love content. I love the internet. It is so good. It can also be so bad, right? I feel like I don't know if jumping into this topic is super important, but I really think it's having an effect on our little guy Oliver.
Yeah. So we've been having a rough time with Oliver lately. So all the girls, they entertain themselves all day. They are the most imaginative, creative. They're never on any screens. They just find something to do. And I always hope that, Oliver will follow the sisters and do that too. And I play with him, but, he loses his attention span so quickly. Whenever I'm playing with him, it's all about breaking the thing that I'm playing with. Like I'll build him a train set and he wants to just break it. The girls try to play with him. He throws their stuff. He's like aggressive and he's always trying to do the opposite of what would be like a peacemaking, nice activity. And he's trying to stir things up all the time. And I think it could have led to or be from him watching screens. He's the only kid that's always wanting to watch my phone.
Yeah, it's not good. From the second he wakes up, that's the first thing he wants to do. He knows that we're asleep, so he grabs your phone and walks out of the room.
He sneaks into my room. He grabs it off of my nightstand and we'll hear it going. He knows how to do, my password's too easy. I need to change my password.
And we're not the best examples either. If you think about it, we're on our phones literally 90% of our lives.
We are on our phones a lot, but I feel like we choose when to be on our phones. Like we'll let the kids know, hey, mommy and daddy have to work right now. And I always make sure I let them know that I'm working. Like I'm not just sitting on there scrolling.
Yeah.
But they see us on there. And of course, our job is on the phones. We're researching stuff to talk about. We're posting things. And so to them, like we need to just let them know. But he sees that and he just always wants to be watching shows. And then it doesn't help that we have TVs in the car. So as we're driving to the dance studio or driving to gymnastics, that's like a 40-minute drive. They're watching shows in there too.
I really miss I miss the 90s. Of course I miss the 90s, but I just wish that my kids could have grown up like I did because we didn't even have cell phones.
Yeah.
But we didn't have flip phones until I was like I think I was a sophomore in high school when like the first like Samsung flip phone came out, and it was like there was still nothing on it.
Crazy?
Like the iPhone was still later, you know, like we didn't have what we have today to like occupy our time. We had to occupy our time with things like being outside.
You have to let the kids be bored. Like that's when they learn the most. Imagination is so important for kids.
Yeah.
And I was showing Kyler, I mean, I saved this little reel. Look how cool this is. I was on Instagram yesterday and there was a study done. This girl posted it, and Sir Ken Robinson and George Land, they went out and tried to figure out what makes a genius. And so they took a bunch of 5-year-olds and they just let them kind of, you know, explore and play. And they were trying to figure out how they use their imagination to solve problems. And that's what makes someone a genius, is when you can use your imagination to solve problems. So he took all these 5-year-olds, and he was saying that about 98% of 5-year-olds were able to, you know, were considered a genius because they were so imaginative and they were so good at problem solving. They would just come up with different ideas on how to solve problems so quickly. And then he came back when they were 10 years old, 5 years later, and he said that it was down to 30% of them were still using their imagination to solve problems. And then later on at 15, it was down to 12%. And so then George Land took it further, and he went out and surveyed a bunch of adults, and he found that only 2% of adults were still using their imagination. And that would take the population to 98% genius.
And that's why a lot of adults are using mushrooms
down to
nowadays
2%.
To open their brains.
I mean, yeah, I feel like sometimes now we're trying to figure out, where did our imagination go? I feel like I've always kind of kept mine alive, but at times I do find myself like, it's hard to tap back into it. You know,
do you notice that I am actually worse? I don't know why, but I think my imagination was so much better like 3 to 5 years ago.
I think stress can close our imagination down, for sure.
Yeah, we've been super stressed. Yeah. Honestly, like...
But I need to finish this.
Oh, sorry.
This study.
I'm so sorry that I cut you off.
Oh, no, it's fine. But he says that uncreative thinking and behavior is learned. And he was saying that he thinks it's linked to school. That he says that the school systems that we're sending our kids to actually put them all in this little category of like getting rid of their creativity and imagination. Makes everybody more like serious and...
Yeah.
I didn't screenshot the rest of it.
I would have to agree. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you should not go to school. But I will say that that I was not a huge advocate of the school system. I went and I got a degree in college, but I look back and wonder why sometimes.
So here's the thing. The whole point of school and the whole point of all of this is to learn, right? We need to be learning. We need to be intelligent. We need to be smart. But you can learn through so many different ways. Oh, yeah. And nowadays they have so many different types of school. My friend that I just met on this girls trip a couple weeks ago, her kids go to a school that the entire school is outdoors. You drop your kids off in the morning. They go on hikes. They go like fishing. They build things. They go through nature. They go back to picnic tables to build another thing. And that is literally their school system. They do not sit in the classroom at all.
So what do we do? What are we doing then? Because me and you have been like kind of going back and forth. We're like in between a rock and a hard place on what we should do for Tatum and Oakley moving forward with school. Tatum and Oakley and Halston, now they're both like in the elementary school age.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Are we going back to school? Or are we going to do homeschool? And
what I was thinking was homeschool was great this year. Like I loved it. I loved being with the kids all the time, but I really feel like having them go to school for 1 year to see what it's like. They were very little when they went. I want them to go and see what it's like to be around kids their age, learn how to talk to peers, learn how to stand up for themselves, learn how to see what bullying looks like, learn learn about, the world, people. And I think that as they do that, then in a year from now, after they do a whole year of that, then we go, okay, did you like it? What did you think? Did you feel like it was too hard for you? Did you feel like you were learning? Did you feel like you learned better at homeschool? Do you want to try this other school? Like give them options, but I want them to at least see what it's like.
That's crazy. Back in the day, there wasn't really an option. You just went to school.
Yeah, there was no option.
I do like that there's an option now.
Yeah.
I feel like there always was, but nobody ever really thought that they could just do homeschool.
Well, before social media, you didn't know what anyone was doing unless you ran into them at the grocery store, at the park. Like, think about it. You weren't able to, like, at your fingertips see, oh my gosh, this mom in Kansas is going to this type of school. Oh, did you see this mom in New York? Like, there was none of that. You know, no one's sharing what they're doing. You just knew your friends in the neighborhood or at the sports, and that's all. And everyone in the neighborhood and usually is doing around the same thing because you're all doing the same thing. So now that we have all this access to all this other knowledge, and because we are so much on social media and on the internet, you can get to any information right there. Learning is going to be so much different. You know, you will continue learning all the time. Your kids can look anything up, look up any answer to any question. So now it's not about memorizing what the book says. You can look up anything you need to know any time in your life at any time in your finger, right from your hand. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I mean, I can honestly say if I sat down, I was going to do a bunch of fractions. I couldn't remember how.
Well, I don't think you need the fractions. I think it was all about problem solving at the time.
But exactly. Time is of the essence in life, right? I mean, time is the only thing you can't get back. So why waste a bunch of time doing fractions and stuff if you're not even going to use them?
Yeah. So for me,
I'm just saying fractions, but like long division or what do they call all those problems with the A and X and stuff?
I actually enjoyed math.
Algebra?
I was the opposite. I actually loved math.
I did too. I liked math.
I didn't like English.
I liked getting problem solving, and maybe that's what it was all about, was problem solving. I don't know.
It was about using different parts of your brain, like, okay, how do I figure this out? You know, problem solving on that, trying to get to the end, trying to figure it out, and trying to like go back and check your answer. That's kind of what you do like in life, or you can apply it to different things. But yeah, I don't know. I just read that and I thought that was very cool because I am all about, for me and like the way that I've always viewed my kids, because every family is different and every kid is different. How I view my kids are very, very creative, very imaginative. Everything they do is this big creative thing in the house with music. It turns into a musical. They love to perform. They love just to make little things out of nothing. Like, they are so creative. And so I don't want to take that away from them. I see that out of my eyes as a mom and I go, oh my gosh, this is them to the core. They are the most imaginative, creative people. So they need to be in a school system that does not take that away. Whereas some kids, they thrive off of sitting still and reading books. There are book people. Yeah. They love that. Some kids don't want to be with a bunch of kids and being in this big creative play. You know what I mean? That makes them feel uncomfortable. And so my kids are the opposite. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, as their mother, and I see how they respond to things, how do I get them in the best education system for their types of personalities? Like when we homeschooled this year, they couldn't just sit there and do just a math page for like 4 pages in a row. They wanted to make a game out of it. They wanted to act it out. They wanted to sing the problems. And it was so cute. I was thinking, wow, you guys are almost teaching yourselves ways to memorize all the multiplications.
Yeah, I catch them singing songs all the time to different things that were taught, you know?
It's so cute. Yeah, they know, they like learned all their multiplication from all those songs.
That's how I know all the states: Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas. Remember that? I know that still to this day from elementary school.
Yep.
Because of that song.
Songs stick in your head more than just books. I don't know. Yeah. If you can find a way to make it fun. There's art schools. Remember we almost signed them up for that art school? Yeah. They do arts. They use arts and instruments and music to learn all the subjects. I thought that was cool, but I didn't love, though it was kind of a newer school and I kind of felt like the vibes of it wasn't all together. Didn't you feel that when we walked through it?
Have you ever noticed how like kids from California, I'm not trying to make anything feel bad when I say this, but kids from California or kids from big cities, they tend to like be a little bit above their age. Maybe because like big cities, there's more people and you're learning from more people all at once. Whereas a small town, you're just learning from the people around you. Yeah, there's more movement, there's more hustle and bustle, there's more. I think the girls even growing up in the business that we are in has been really good for them, for their growth. Well, I noticed them versus other kids, Madison, and they're just they've have a little bit more life experience, and even they're only 8 years old. Yeah, their life experience is just a little bit more, and it shines. So it was really cute. We're in the works of starting this little company for the girls, and they're really into it. Like the twins have been obsessed with designing the things and drawing them out, and they have they came up with basically their own pitch on why they want this business to happen, and it was the cutest thing. They like pitched it to all of these big executives or the head of this company. We've sat down. Talking about it's okay. Yeah, we've sat down with Nickelodeon. We've sat down with Paramount. We've sat down with that is Nickelodeon. We've sat down with with Spin Master, which is a major toy manufacturing company. Claire's. We've sat down with a lot of people. And it's okay to talk about this, by the way.
I wasn't sure if we were supposed to talk about it.
No, we're going to go right into it. In fact, we have a lot of stuff going on
so basically,
that we're going to tell you.
We felt like they were beyond their years because we weren't expecting them to have to get up and tell everybody this, but they just wanted to talk about it on their own because they were so passionate about it, and they pulled out all their designs. And the way that everything just flowed when they were talking, and their excitement and their expression, I was thinking, oh my gosh, they could be on like Shark Tank right now and sell this whole company because they were so cute.
Yeah, everybody loved it. They just didn't know 100% what to do with it because it was a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and just to give you an idea what's going on, we recently have taken on a new 360 management, beautiful person.
I love her.
She's amazing. Her name's Karen Sterling. She was Jojo Siwa's former full-time manager and was let go. And that's not like new news.
I think, they just let her go and there was no explanation. So
yeah, no explanation.
She kind of just was looking for another family.
Really none of our business, to be honest with you. We actually love Jojo and we love the Siwas and their family. I will say though, the last couple times we've reached out to Jojo, even though she sent us that nice message.
No, I just talked to her.
Did you just talk to her?
Yeah, like 2 days ago.
Oh, she's literally left me on scene for like 5 times. I think there's something about it.
You're like a guy, like, okay, like think about a 21-year-old messaging the husband of someone.
I understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
like me and her, we're just.
But she was like my little sister.
I know.
That's what I felt like, at least.
Well, maybe she'll message you one day.
I don't really care that much.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, I care because I care about her as a person. You know? But I do think it's a little weird. But anyways, what were you saying? You talked to her the other day.
Yeah, I talked to her the other day.
When?
I just like felt for her. Like I was going through her comments and she just gets so much hate and I was just feeling sad. I was thinking,
that's super nice of you.
I know that like I don't know if this is their marketing standpoint where they're trying to make a big scene and like they don't care about the hate because it almost like pushes the publicity stunt. You know how like they say like good or bad publicity is good. I don't know if that's their stunt because I think that's kind of, it seems like that's what they're trying to do. But deep down, like regardless if she's trying to get bad publicity just for views, like I think that it's sad still that people are messaging so many hurtful things. And I see her mom trying to stand up for her in the comments, and it was just hurting my heart. Like I was just thinking,
it hurts you. It hurts.
Why are people so judgmental? Like just because she's doing something different or something new that you haven't seen before doesn't mean you have the right to go on there and express how you're feeling. I don't know. It just was making me feel bad. So I wanted to message her and just tell her how awesome she is because I think everyone needs to know, like everyone's awesome in their own way.
Madison, you have the sweetest heart, honestly.
Thanks.
I'm trying not to cry right now a little bit because I feel it, but you do have the sweetest heart. You're the sweetest person ever.
Thanks.
It's easier for me to be like, whatever, we make our bed,
Yeah.
But like the truth is like,
no,
the Savior loves us all the same, no matter what. Mm-hmm. So you're emulating those types of qualities.
Yeah, I don't like seeing people get hate messages, especially people that
we hate them too. Nobody likes hate messages.
I know, but she had a lot.
Yeah.
I felt really bad. So anyway, I messaged her, just let her know. But yeah, we signed with this manager and she's basically just helping our family reach new levels and do new things. It's really hard. Like I feel like a lot of other social media influencers that I follow, at least they have like a whole team helping them, like a creative director, somebody helping them film their videos, someone helping them editing their videos, someone helping them think of their day-to-day, managing, all of their stuff, like making sure everything's flowing and everything's going out on time. And Kyler and I, we have 5 little kids. We're in the middle of a move and we're trying to do all these new things and we were kind of doing everything on our own.
Yeah, if you want to know that we sat down to this podcast 5 minutes before without knowing what we were talking about.
Yeah, we're making it up on the spot right now.
That's literally how it goes some days. Some days are literally by the seat of our, I don't know what they say, by the seat of our pants, shooting from the hip.
Sometimes I don't understand those little things.
Pissing in the dark.
Like why?
Like
you don't know where it's gonna go.
Sometimes we don't know where it's gonna go, and sometimes we don't even have time to plan. We don't even have time to even shoot. In fact, we haven't shot a podcast for the last 2 weeks because we were overwhelmed.
Well, we were showing our house,
feeling mentally fatigued.
Yeah,
I would say, and we just had to tell.
We were out of town for the meetings. too.
Out of town. I mean,
so there was a lot in the last 2 weeks. And so I don't like getting behind. I want to stay consistent so you guys can count on us, but it really is hard. And I hope that as you like join in on these podcasts and listen, like you just know that you are getting real and raw Madison and Kyler, and we're not the perfect polished family. We really are doing our best and sharing and giving our best to you, but it's always in the moment and it's always just real because that's all we can give. We can only give much as we can do. We can only
give what we can give. Like you probably noticed over the last 5 years, I think we've touched on this before, but literally we used to be like 3 or 4 days a week YouTube videos. I don't think we've done 4 YouTube videos in all of May. You know?
Yeah, and it's hard because like we're trying so hard to just do a little bit as we can with all the platforms, and we're trying our best.
It sounds like we're complaining, and we are. We are overwhelmed.
We're very overwhelmed. You guys, we are moving in 3 weeks. Okay, we have not packed up our house yet. I need to go get boxes. Like we haven't even really started. The kids are all still in their sports. We're transitioning sports. Like the girls are going from the level 3 gymnastics team here to the level 3 gymnastics team there. We don't even know if they're going to make the team. We got to go like transition, audition.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's just so many moving parts. And then on top of that, we're doing all this new stuff.
I have shows this summer that I'm trying to prepare for. I don't even know how I'm going to prepare for. Literally, I don't even know how I'm going to prepare for them because we're moving.
The other day, I woke up and I felt so overwhelmed that I felt crippled. I felt like I couldn't even get out of my bed because I was thinking there is no possible way that I can accomplish all the things that we have going on. There is no way.
Is that the night that I thought you were talking in your sleep, but you were actually just literally talking out loud?
I would wake up in my sleep and go, gosh, I'm so mad right now. Oh, I can't do it all. And I would like move the blanket and like, and I'd be like, oh,
whoa, she's having a dream right now.
And then I would wake up like an hour later at 4 a.m. I'd be like, oh my gosh, what is going on? And I just kept waking up because I have this loop and this loop and this loop of these thoughts of like, okay, you haven't gotten this done. You haven't gotten this done. When are you going to do this?
Frosted grape.
Oh, I have to have an energy drink every day, which I don't want to be drinking caffeine every day, but I have to have one because I fill my body with all these natural things in the morning, you know, the fruits and veggies and the vitamins and the water. And then I move around and I think that's going to last the whole day because I'm taking care of my body, but it doesn't. By the time it's noon or 1, I'm so tired that I have to do an energy drink. The energy drink will then hold me over till about 5 or 6. And then I'm just exhausted again.
I think you need to get a good workout schedule. You need to start meditating a little bit.
I talked about this on my last podcast.
Okay. That's good.
But I'm sure like every person in this world, and I'm sure the people listening, how many times do you set goals and you don't do it?
Word.
Like I
pretty much every day for me.
I try. Like I did a Pilates class yesterday, but then I want to work out every day, some type of movement. But it's so hard to keep it going for me. What is the deal? Why do I have to start over every time?
I think that's just life.
Yeah.
That's just life straight up. Do we want to go back and talk about any of the new developments? I feel like
I think as we start figuring out what we're doing with the developments, I think then give more info because we don't know what we're doing yet, you know? One thing I want to talk about is I feel very proud of this. It was very interesting. Last night, I decided, so I opened up this box and inside was all of these satin pillowcases. And there weren't just like a nice gold or white or rose gold or like, you know, those neutral tones that I always loved for the pillows. They were these bright red, bright orange, bright yellow sunflowers with these characters on it. Apparently they're BTS characters. I didn't know that. I pull them out and the first thought in my head first was like, okay, well, these aren't really going to match any of our beds. So normally I would have just donated them to someone. But instead, I went like this. I said, you know what? Why don't we put these fun, colorful pillows on all of our pillowcases? And
how excited were the kids?
They were so excited, you guys. It made me feel so bad. I brought them upstairs and I said, you guys, look, do you want to put these on your pillows? And they go, wait, we can put these on our pillows? I'm like, yeah. They're like, really? All these bright colors?
Well, I always tell you all the time, like if you were like my mom, I would be so upset because Madison has this aesthetic she has to hit when it comes to like, hold on.
Okay, you tell
you
your
have
side
this
first.
Aesthetic that you have to hit in their bedrooms for you to have this like perfect vision thing. But for me, when I was a kid, I'd hang up different posters of like people that I really looked up to. I had trophies all over my room. I had like, you've thrown all their trophies away.
No, we had like 100 of them. They give them to every competition.
My parents never threw away one of my trophies.
They weren't real trophies. Like if they get to higher levels and they actually win first place, that's one thing. These are the ones that they just literally give every single person. There's not a place on them. It just says you went to the dance convention. And
all I'm saying is I do think it's cool that you recognized that yesterday. Yeah. That like, you know what? Like give the kids the color they want in their room. It goes back to the whole imagination thing. You got to let them have a little bit of that, you know? You got to let kids,
that's what I'm saying.
If you want to take some advice, take some advice from Cody Barker. Cody Barker lets Legend do whatever he wants to his room.
I do.
So much creativity.
Oh, to like their bedrooms.
Like you should see his bedroom. It's just like.
But I would let our kids do some stuff, but they don't try to do a lot of. They play with their toys in there, like build cool forts and stuff. But they don't try to like. They've never hung up something or bought something that they want, and then I don't let them.
I'm not trying to be on your case. I'm just like.
Well, no, because I've had haters before come out and say, "Oh, Madison's such a boring beige mom." You remember?
Oh yeah.
You remember?
Yeah.
Because one time I bought all of these like really aesthetic, cute, like naturally wood and like cute toys that were, you know, all those vibes that are, I don't know. I like the muted tones.
I know. Whoa.
And I wouldn't mind a bright pillowcase that was silk, that was like a bright pink mixed with like a light yellow mixed with like a turquoise. Like there's these certain colors that I think look nice together, but these ones were like, it was like these ninja guys like punching through this orange wall and I don't know, all this stuff. And they just didn't go with the style, you know? And I just thought, I don't care anymore. Like let them have fun. And it was so cute because the girls woke up and Kyler's setting up so much stuff right now. The girls last night were like, this is so exciting. And Oliver was so excited. Then if you flip the pillow around, there's all these different characters on the back and they named every single one of them. They picked a personality trait for each pillow. They all said they slept so well last night and they were so stoked. Anyway, how do you feel? I just had a vent because for the first time I kind of just let that happen.
That's really cute. How do you like our set now?
Kyler, what is going on? Why?
See what I mean? Let it happen.
Oh.
You're so...
You did this on purpose to test me.
Yeah, I did it on purpose to test you and you failed.
He put all this like junk behind me. I was like,
what? You failed. See, this shows a little personality.
No,
it's cool.
Like the guitar is cool and like the drink blocks are cool because it's like a product. But what is with the trash?
That's just to go show. That's to show that we're gonna get it. We're gonna put up some new mic stands. No, I'm just kidding. It doesn't matter though. Like it just shows a little personality, you know. Look, by the way,
I do have a hard time. I have to tell you something.
We're hitting stores all over the country. It's cool.
No, we are. It's in all the Walmarts.
It's pretty crazy. Albertsons, Hy-Vee grocery stores. We're just going like crazy. It's wild.
This is so exciting. I cannot believe that we have a product, our very own product, that is going everywhere.
We have a great team, by the way. We have a great team. We're so lucky to have the team we have. The inventor, Tom, amazing person, amazing family.
Can build them
like we're so lucky that we got introduced to this and we saw it for what it was and just help put the project together. It's really cool. Partner. Yeah. We're super grateful.
I have to vent one more time.
You got a vent?
I'm kind of funny. I always dream of living in a house that's like super clean and super aesthetic and looks almost like you don't live there. Like I don't like when Kyler has a bunch of stuff on his nightstand. Like as soon as he starts adding a bunch of stuff on his nightstand, I'm like, no, Kyler, it needs to be your lamp, maybe a book, a candle, a picture, whatever. That's enough.
The rest of the stuff is underneath the bed that she shoved under.
He shoves all of it under his nightstand. I just want things to have a spot. I think I just don't like clutter. I feel like for the longest time, we've always lived in every single home Kyler and I have ever lived in has had cluttered corners. Most people will have a cluttered drawer or two, but we have like our whole room will be cluttered corners. We
have too much stuff. That's all there is to it. We just need to get rid of it.
Last week, because we're moving, we finally cleaned our whole house for the first time. Like we've never had all the rooms clean at once. And so I did a whole house tour on my phone. I'm going to edit it and post it. I've never been able to really show the house because it's always messy.
Yeah. What's a house though? What's a home that's always perfect? Exactly.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
I do like the house clean. I do run around the house and yell, guys, let's go clean up. Come on. We're clean up time or whatever. Clean up. We'll sing the clean up song. Everybody cleans. Like it's cool. I do like a house that's clean.
I don't want to have to be like this. I want it. So It's so funny though, because we're opposites. Cause like I love when the kids play and make a big mess with their creativity. Remember, I'm always like, let's leave it. It looks so cute. They spent so long on this, and you're always like, let's clean it up.
Yeah.
So I guess like we care about different things. Like if it's a creativity mess, like a whole fort, I'll leave that for 5 days. But if it's a clutter corner of like random like old boxes that have been sitting there for years and like things that we don't ever touch, that's what bugs me.
I'll be honest, I can't breathe when the house is a mess. I can't breathe. It just gives me anxiety. I really like that time of the night, 7 o'clock comes around, kids are about to get to bed, we clean up, the house looks really nice, the sun's coming through the window, the sunset's coming through the window, and I can just turn on some music and just kind of...
It is our favorite time to
take
clean.
One of my first breaths for the day.
That's your first breath? Dang,
that was my first big breath that I noticed, at least.
That's not good. Yeah, it's hard to remember. But
anyways,
let us know what you guys think about all of this.
Yeah, let us know what y'all think of this in the comments.
I was feeling so sad yesterday. One last thing. Okay, the twins, it must be hard to be a twin. You're probably super competitive, right?
Oh, yeah.
I took the girls to their gymnastics private, and their coach, Tatum's like on the floor crying. And I thought she got hurt at first. And I go down there, and their private was kind of over now. So I started talking to the teacher, and she goes, Tatum had a really hard time today because Oakley got really good on the bars, and she got a trick that Tatum doesn't have. And Tatum's so frustrated that Oakley had gotten a new skill before her for the first time. Every single time, their whole life. Go Oakley. I know,
go
right?
Oakley.
So their whole
life she's been trailing.
Her whole life, she's just everything after Tatum, even with losing their teeth, with height, with being able to like get a new skill. It's always after Tatum. And I always feel so bad for Oakley. And so finally she's like thriving and she's getting better at something. They love gymnastics. It is the cutest thing to see. They're so into it. And Oakley's been thriving on the bars, and Tatum's a little better on the floors. And I just said, you know what? They're going to be different and better at different events in gymnastics. No one's good at all 4 events. I mean, sometimes, but usually a gymnast is really good at one,
Yeah.
And so Tatum's got to learn that, because for the first time I saw she was getting jealous and she was crying about it. And I was thinking, gosh, that must be hard, because twins do everything usually when you're at the same time. Because usually when you're a sibling, you're in different teams, you're in different classes, you're not being compared as much. And I do think that would be really tough as a twin. So we need to make sure as parents that we're really, making them feel like separate individuals. Now that they're getting older, they'll start communicating what their differences are. They'll start, probably getting different friends. And I think we need to really celebrate that. Let Oakley go to a friend's house by herself without Tatum,
Yeah, totally. I'm down for that.
I think it would be cute. They still choose to dress the same on their own every day. They go upstairs and get dressed, and they come down head to toe them matching.
Sometimes.
So cute. Yeah.
They do that?
Yeah, or they're coordinating.
They were different today, but
yeah.
I had made them go upstairs and get dressed the same, because we made a video. And it was literally a twin video, so that's why.
Oh, that's cute.
All right, guys.
Even for that, they don't need to,
Woo! Welcome back to the MADlife. We haven't filmed in the last 2 weeks, but we're here. We are back. We are back in action. The MADlife with Kyler and Madison. And actually, we are going to kind of like change the branding a little bit, because Madison's been feeling a lot of pressure. She feels like the pressure's kind of on her, and that's understandable. And I'm going to be more. We thought that it would have been a better avenue to have Madison just be kind of like just the host and handle it. But we actually want to open it up to like a lot of different guests, not just what we feel like has just been women, actually. There's a lot of great people out there that need to be heard.
It's just sometimes, like Kyler will have like a guest, like a guy who's like so awesome and he's done so many great things. And he's like, I'm going to have my friend on. And then I'm thinking, okay, do I interview them because it's the MADlife, or can you just interview them? And I'll be in here with you, but is it always like me interviewing everybody, or do you have some friends you want to bring on and talk to? So I was thinking, I think our podcast can be a little bit of all of it. Like,
yeah, but that's the thing. That's another thing, is like, it doesn't have to be just me and them. It can be us.
I know.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah, it should always be like me and you.
Sometimes we don't know who we are. All right, guys. Thank you guys for coming back and being a part of this this Shoot from the Hip, Piss in the Dark podcast. We love you guys.
We love you. Go make a difference, and we'll see you in the next video.
Peace.